Well, feel the funk blast! Well, feel the funk blast! Well, feel the funk blast! Yo, 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 check it out, yo, yo,
yo! We are live. Oh my goodness, okay.
J. Rumpy and the Dude.
That's right, welcome back, y'all, for the next edition of the last podcast before the world explodes.
I think you needed like to have like one of those intros like J. Rumpy and the Dude, and then like the Daily Dew falling on you or something. You know, it's like it's poop, but it's the dew, it's the shit. You know?
There it is.
It's the topic du jour.
Is Rumpy in the Dew, or who? What'd you say? J. Rumpy and the Dew, the Daily Dew.
Yeah.
That's right. Welcome back to the last podcast before the world explodes with J. Rumpy and the Dew.
Oh.
Dropping that dew on the Daily Dew on you. Yeah, we just farted and coughed at the same time.
I was watching a different YouTube video, and he was going off about all the inconsistencies in The Office. And it was like weird little stuff. You know, like, God, I can't remember. I mean, just tiny weird stuff like on one of them, Michael's riding a bike. And on the other one, they have to show him how to ride a bike. You know, where they're like running alongside. And so it's tiny inconsistencies that you're like, well, this guy's just kind of like picking at stuff. But then he's got so many of them. Like he's just naming them off like, ba-ba, 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 ba-ba.
That's kind of cool.
And then you realize that
The chaos.
so inconsistent.
The chaos
It's
of the
bullshit.
story in the episodes.
Yeah, like it's almost to the point of like, you know, them changing Pam's fiance's name around. Like, it doesn't get anything that crazy.
Yeah.
But over time, the whole inconsistent... You're like, oh my God, the writers were...
It's just they're so small that you're like, yeah, everybody rides a bike.
Yeah.
And then you see it later, oh, this is a funny episode about, you know, they're teaching him how to ride a bike. And then you forgot that he already...
But that stuff pisses me off, man. I'm
When
kind
someone finds all that stuff, the inconsistencies?
When a show has that many inconsistencies. Like, just try to keep it tight, you know?
Ooh, that sucks.
What?
Like, did you lose respect for The Office now?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
What was the guy's podcast?
I can't remember. I can't remember the name. I was just flipping through stuff on YouTube. I don't even know.
I checked out some dude's podcast. Holy shit, it was like an ASMR podcast. He wasn't even saying shit, and he was whispering it, and he wasn't making sense. He had dope graphics, and like everyone in the comments were like, "Fucking awesome ASMR quality." It was the one guy who was like, "Best of YouTube 2020." I'm like, what the fuck am I not getting here? And he would like be all quiet. And then he'd be all like with some loud, stupid noise. It's like,
yeah.
Alright.
There was a girl, I swear she started it. There was a girl who did murder podcasts. I would always look up the different murder podcasts.
About murderers or just murders?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, how to do murder.
Whoa. Let me tell you about this murder I did.
No, you know, all the different murderers, and she was sitting in her closet. Like, the camera was pointed at her, and she's in her fucking closet, and she was real cute.
Like sitting on the ground?
Yeah, like sitting Indian style. And then she just starts talking like this and only like this. And I swear she started it. Because I hadn't ever heard of that before.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that ASMR, it doesn't even make sense. It's whisper. I don't know why. I don't know what ASMR stands for.
People who are, it's like audio sensory something relief. I don't know. I'm fucking it up. But it's a brand new thing, man. Like I wanted to get an ASMR channel that was like bullshit and just be like, hey motherfuckers, it's me, I'm back. I fucking kick some ass today. Get a fucking load of this.
Dude, you should.
You know?
Do
People be like, holy shit, this dude is raging with the ASMR.
That's number 4, dude.
Start a channel or do a cast just in... Oh, this is for your ASMR folks here.
It should be like political rant in ASMR. Goddamn Democrats want to fucking walk around on eggshells.
Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down.
Yeah, you would get too loud. You'd go, and let me tell you, oh, hold on, everybody. I gotta bring it back down.
There's something there, like a ridiculous ASMR channel, you know?
You should do it, dude. You should do like that. Should be like number 4. Special topics.
We'll do it. We'll have like a 10-minute segment. Well, that's what we can do, like a fucking 2-minute ASMR segment of our podcast. Brought to you by...
We should do. We should do I don't know, like heated debates, SMR, like where like arguing about religion or something or politics.
I wanted to do some like heated, fiery shit, but man, no fucking way, no fucking way.
Oh, there was this. Your work was on the news.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because some dude parked there on the weekend, and somebody stole his 16-year-old daughter who's disabled.
His daughter?
No.
Oh.
They stole her wheelchair, like a racing wheelchair.
I heard about that. That happened at my work?
In your parking lot, apparently.
Holy shit.
He pulled in there for some... There goes Shy.
It's like, seriously...
Come on.
Even if you've got like she's shy. I say, even if you've got a disabled kid and you're trying to do like some Robin Hood shit, I need this. I got no money. I need it for my kid. Well, it's not like a bike you can spray paint black and be like, yeah, this is good. And be like, whoa, dude, that matte black racing wheelchair.
But you just created the only scenario where that would be all right.
What?
Like if the people that stole that racing wheelchair actually gave it to somebody that needed it, like that's the only scenario where that's cool.
But like, what scenario would someone steal a racing wheelchair?
I know exactly. I've been there, dude, and it's fucking San Antonio, dude. It's 2 dudes driving by, and
it's just a bunch of metal.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's not nailed down. Bing.
What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. I mean, when I admit I've stolen stuff like that before, like just random ass shit.
But a wheelchair.
Yeah,
that's a whole new class, man. Stealing a kid's wheelchair.
But it was funny. It happened at your work.
Yeah, I didn't know that, man.
It was weird.
Nikki was asking about the podcast. She was like, "Yeah, I like it." And the intro, and she's like, "But why does the Earth or the world have to explode?" I said, "Because it's gonna."
I knocked her down for effect.
Get out of the way!
The world's not safe.
But no joke, whether it's a meteor, an asteroid, or it's like billions of years from now with the sun exploding and taking us with it.
Well, I mean, now you started making this during, like, the impeachment. I mean, we got global warming. We got the frickin' Russians. North Korea.
The frickin' Russians.
Middle East is about to explode again.
It's kind of like...
It's the end of the world, man.
I was trying to go for, like, a theme of, like, threat level midnight. Or, you know, like, holy shit. But... if it's temporary on this name, I don't know. It's kind of sticking with me. I kind of like it. Oh. But we can always mix it up, man.
What, is Nikki a producer now?
But
she's gonna hear that.
Fuck him. Thumbs down, asshole. She did give one of my videos a thumbs down because in it I said, "Give me a thumbs down. Shit, leave something, you know?" And she's like, "I left you a thumbs down." It's like, thanks.
She's very literal.
That's right. It's that because it's gonna happen.
I like it.
Can you imagine though? when the world does explode or whatever,
It'd be awesome.
or say,
I hope when the world explodes, we get 48 hours notice so we can all just freak the fuck out. Like, it would be awesome if the world if a comet hit us like right now.
yeah,
it would suck.
Flash
Like,
fry.
if we absolutely knew, like, no bones about it, next Friday the world's gonna end. There's a chance that between now and next Friday it would turn into fucking Nirvana. Like, free sex, man. Fucking do all the drugs you can eat, man. People run around throwing handfuls of cocaine at each other.
I'd be storming fucking Area 51 and being like, I need to know what you got in there if this bitch is gonna explode. It's like, I'm out of here. You know? Fuck. Seriously.
You and some doctor running through a field. Everything was real.
Did I tell you, or did you see that, or do you already know about that Glocke or Die Glocke or whatever the fuck in German?
Die Glocke?
It's a big bell.
Oh, yeah, the Nazis?
Yeah. It was their, like, gravity
That would have been
manipulation.
That would have been funny if I was like, oh, you mean Den Glockenspiel?
The Schlackentoten.
Yes, it was like because it was going to move.
Did we
in a
talk about
circle.
that already, or do you already just know about it?
I've seen History Channel.
It's supposed to be gravity emitting its own gravity. It emits its own gravity, whatever, through waves. And they were trying to harness it, but then they also said it through gravity manipulation also had like time travel capabilities, which they're trying to look into. One thing, for a fact, that when World War II was wrapping up, all the like head scientists, or I think it was like 5 to 7 head scientists that worked on that project, a bunch of them died because of radiation exposure to it. But the ones that survived when Nazi Germany was falling, the bell and those the scientists or whatever just like vanished into thin air. And they said that they cranked. I could go and see what the reports are as far as who said they cranked that bitch on and got the fuck out of there.
But what's weird is let's say it worked.
Yeah.
And let's say they disappeared. Let's say they legitimately disappeared. There's a higher probability that they had a malfunctioning thing and they created a black hole and disappeared.
Yeah.
Versus like sailed into the future.
Yeah. Well, did you hear?
Like they might have fried themselves.
No, you're right. But also, as I was kind of on my like whole UFO kick,
Yeah.
you know, with the Tic Tac and all that.
All praise to the Tic Tac.
I know what's inside. In the 80s, I want to say like 1989 or some shit. In the 80s, right? Late 80s. I believe it was Pennsylvania. There was reports of a fucking bell-shaped object crashing in out of fucking nowhere, and they said, "What the fuck?" And like, I think it took off again, or just no. It crashed, and people were like, "Holy shit! What the fuck was that big bell-looking thing?" And they had light coming out, and it was like floating, and then it. And I think one report said that there was people dressed in like old clothing coming out of it, but that might be bullshit. But I know for a fact from the story that I read or heard that they said on the account that the government came and took that bell. I don't even know. It was in America. I think it was America. Whatever country it happened to, the government came, took that bell, and that's the last you ever heard out of it. But it's like, what if them crazy Nazis, you know, got into?
It's 4 German dudes. Holy shit. You guys are never going to guess what happened. We've been like floating like above you for 40 years. We couldn't pee or anything, but we didn't die. It was weird.
There's a whole world in there. There's a whole world over there.
I'm not going to lie to you. It got weird.
They had to make you...
There's I don't know if it actually happened or not, but there's stories of, in like all the occult mystery stuff, of apparently there was a guy in like the 1930s or something, And you can look it up. I can't remember his name, but you can look it up. And he appeared in the middle of the street. Mm-hmm. And bam, he got hit by a car.
Yeah.
Like, he literally in the middle of the street, in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
And he was wearing, like, old-ass clothes. He was wearing clothes that...
They had his dead body and shit? Like, he didn't disappear after that?
No, he didn't disappear. He sat there. His dead body was there. And
so what? It's a case of this dude came out of nowhere, looted his clothes.
They think it's either a case of a time traveler getting killed, or this guy set up a really elaborate suicide.
That's fucking crazy.
Like apparently all of his clothes were 50 years old. Like, they weren't old. They hadn't been made in 50 years. So.
That's fucking crazy.
But then, I mean, you gotta think about fucking weird shit like that. Oh. There's a while we're on time travel, there's like a paradox thing.
Yeah?
Where,
sorry, you don't have to. You can finish your sentence.
Let me see what you think of this.
That was an attempt at ASMR.
Okay, so it's like a thought experiment, kind of.
Yep.
And there is, and I know I'm doing it wrong, but there's a guy in a room, and it's like an apartment in Brooklyn, okay? And he's cleaning his shotgun, and his wife is talking to him, and she's distracting him. And so all of a sudden, he doesn't realize it's loaded, he misfires, the shotgun shell goes out the window. Well, it just so happened that at that exact moment, there was a guy who had committed suicide and was falling outside the window. And he got hit by the shotgun shell and killed. Now, the story gets weird when you find out that apparently the guy who pulled the trigger, he was so fraught with, like, guilt that he couldn't figure out how he could stop from killing this guy. So what he did was he started studying physics, and he made a time machine. And I don't know, it gets twisted. Like, he tried to make it work, but he couldn't get everything to work. So he finally himself committed suicide by jumping out of the building. And he got shot on the way down. The guy shot himself as a time traveler.
And where was this?
It's a story. It's like a mind problem. And
that's fucking crazy. I was like, what?
Yeah. And they get in. I think it's like, if you can look up different, like, professors talking
the universe
about
is just like, nah. He's like, I can't figure it out.
That shit took care of that.
It's just like, you're living it, brother. You don't get to figure it out.
Let me see if let me look that up and see if I even got it right. Like, I'm just gonna look up time traveler kills self out window.
Look it up. We've discussed, but I don't know if we recorded it, but the date of when time travel supposedly. Yeah, we've discussed this.
What do you mean?
What year time travel is supposedly discovered?
Okay, I don't.
2048.
Why would it be 2048?
And it's not science.
Chiefs win the Super Bowl 2048.
That's my own kind of thing. Like, I think I don't know if I said it on the first podcast, but when I was into my whole UFO and alien binge and all that, I was looking at time travelers, and I just wanted to hear, like I said, just wanted to hear what the time travelers who make these YouTube videos, said. And I wanted to see what they said and what the similarities were, and what was kind of bogus. And like I think I told you before, I don't know if they planned it on purpose or not, but a reoccurring number in a lot of these different stories, if they're not working together or copycatting each other, 2048, they say time travel is, I don't know if it's discovered or it's open for commercial, time travel. But I think it was like 2045 they figured out, and then 2048 it's commercial. Or maybe it's 2048 they figure it out, and then 2051 is commercial. But I'm putting my chips in that basket, baby.
Wait a minute. So this is a projection. They expect it's going to be there.
It was my own personal investigating when I just went on a binge of watching all these people talking about I'm from the future. I'm from 60,000 years. I'm from 5,000. I'm from 10,000. Oh, I'm from And a big reoccurring theme was 2048 is when they figure it out or they release it for commercial transportation. 2048. And then the other thing was...
Did you look up 24? Does it have any significance on its own?
I don't know. I'll check it out. And then the other thing is that there's... by that time when they figure out time travel in the future, these distant times in the future, I don't even know, 10,000, 20,000, whatever, 30,000... They say it's consolidated down to like 3 mega countries or just 3 countries.
I typed in 2048 and the first thing that came up is a fucking weird number tile video game.
Holy shit.
Maybe if you play the game, you find the future.
Bing, 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 bing. Time travel.
It's all about game stuff. It's some weird Google Chrome play puzzle.
Mark your calendars. 2048.
What is that? It's 18 years?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
It's weird. It's all about this fucking...
Think, if we make it to 2048 and that shit's legit, and we can start going back, not only going back or going forward, going back would be cool. One, I want to see, like Joe Rogan says, who built them fucking pyramids and how they do it. That'd be cool.
I want to see pyramids.
What?
Dude. All right, I got some shit.
But what I'd say real quick,
pyramids. Right.
Instead of going forward or backward, wouldn't that also unlock a state or a point of suspended, not going forward or time just standing still, and then you can just like chill in that for a little bit or however you want to do it,
Are we already there?
No, we're in it. We're in a vacuum with time.
But if you and me are talking about going back and forth in time.
But we're not doing it. We're just talking about it.
I know, but if we could.
Yeah.
Like, let's say that the time machine gets built, we're already the ones out of time ourselves. Because we would be going back. Like, okay, we go back to 1600s, whatever. And then we decide to come back to our time right now.
Yeah.
It wouldn't feel any different to us coming back to our time. Like, we wouldn't feel like time travel.
No, it would just
we
be
would
like...
blend exactly back in.
Yeah.
So, we're already time travelers. We're already capable of it consciously. So...
But not physically.
Well, it's like you were... No. But you were talking about that kind of gap where you were... Basically, if you can go back and forth...
You can stay in the middle at
they fall
zero.
Out. Yeah. You just stay at zero.
Yeah.
Well, that's what consciousness is. You're at zero. Because...
Yeah.
Kinda, right?
Yeah, your
right.
consciousness is like always at zero.
But you're talking about a physical place.
to
You're talking about the hallway that Matthew McConaughey fell down in Interstellar.
Yeah! Bitch, I want to play on them cosmic harp strings, banjo strings,
like a universal timeout zone where you could just like...
It would be cool to go back and see. We're in that fucking McConaughey thing looking through and like, look at them fucking pyramids being built. I knew that's how it was done. Or just to like flash forward and be like, what happens with Earth? Like, just to know the story, like, to flash forward, like, when do we end? Oh, we end in the year 92,000. But we're off planet in a different solar system also, but then we all just go extinct with some crazy virus and we all die. It's like, well, let's go back to our time. We know when we all die for good. Let's just go chill and, we don't have to go there now because we can just go back and forth and we can avoid the end forever because we can control time.
Well, you could just go back and forth.
Yeah.
You're talking about just going back.
Well, if you could go forward, you would have unless humanity lives forever, you'd be able to see, bam, this is the date it finally sputters. It peters out, It's this date right here. Humanity stops and then for another like trillion years, then something else takes over. You could be like, all right, well, there's the end point. Let's just chill in this space over here, and we're good forever. And we'll just not get too close to the deep end where we, end over there.
But we got to keep time traveling.
Yeah. Or you could just live in that suspended zero that isn't conscious. That's physical.
So
you'd have to physically.
That's the thing. That's how to
get in that fucking tic tac.
And apparently, if you just travel at speed.
Yeah, speed of light. If you travel at speed.
If you just go
at the speed of light.
Well, it doesn't matter at the speed of light. As fast as you can go, the faster you go, the slower time goes.
Really? At any speed?
At any speed.
Shit.
There's a guy on YouTube, Brian Cox, who talks about it, and they talk about it like they've proven it. Like they sent a dude into space with a clock, and we had an atomic clock here, and it was off by like a millisecond or some shit. It's like ridiculously small.
That shit's so fucking crazy, though.
Yeah. It's hard to think about.
It really is.
Well, check this out, dude. Before I forget
It's a mechanical fucking click, tick, click, tick, click. It's just like click, tick.
But it
just a little.
I don't know why it does.
Like it just kind of like a wave. It all just bends, and then it's like, whoa, that watch got off by a hair with that gravity, space, warp, bend, fluctuation. It's like. It's not like the watch itself is like fucked up in space. It's like the space the watch was in space got fucked up, and the watch can just show you, hey man, it's fucked up a little.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. You should look up that guy Brian Cox.
I will.
He's kind of like you need to look up Richard Feynman. But that dude Brian Cox talks about it, and talks about just a dude. If you had a watch on and I had a watch on, and I ran outside and ran back, that if you had a sensitive enough thing, you could see that my thing was slower.
What?
Yeah.
That's
nuts,
cool
dude.
as shit.
It's crazy.
That thing, Einstein, if you're on a train moving at the speed of light, and then you start walking forward, what does he say? Then you're like...
No, he's like, if you're moving at the speed of light,
and you're looking
hold
back
a mirror.
What?
If you're traveling at the speed of light, and you hold up a mirror to look at yourself, there shouldn't be anything in the mirror. Because you're traveling at the speed of light, the light can't go faster than that to get from your face to the mirror to bounce back to you. So at the speed of light, you should be looking into a black mirror.
Dude, that shit is so fucking...
I think they cheated us, dude. They should have gotten, instead of like working you through like, this is Algebra 1, it's fucking shitty. This is Algebra 2, most of you didn't even make it here.
I'd say...
We should have had a class called fucking Einstein.
Hell yeah.
Fucking let's wig out.
No shit.
Yeah. But then even another time thing, that Egyptian shit, Cleopatra, the Egyptian lady, we are closer in time to her than she is to the pyramids.
She's closer in time to the iPod or iPhone than she is to the pyramids. Yeah, Joe Rogan said that.
I wanted to get that in there with time, man. That tripped me out.
Fuck yeah.
Because at first, I kind of skip over the Egyptians and try to learn about the Sumer and the early civilizations and shit.
Hell yeah.
But then you realize, well, whoa.
The Anunnaki.
Fucking Egypt was around for 4,000 years at least. Like, that shit's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Like, our concept of fucking time dissolves by that point.
It's fucking... They need to keep excavating Göbekli Tepe.
That's in Turkey. They need to excavate more in Egypt. Yeah. Egypt's got an iron grip. You can't fucking dig there at all.
Oh, yeah. What'd they say? The secrets of, like, the universe or existence. The secrets that... We can't handle the secrets, pretty much, that are stored inside of the Sphinx.
Yeah, a little kid said that.
Yeah.
A little...
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Some weird little kid who's disappeared.
You're right.
And
there is signs that there is stuff inside the Sphinx.
Well, they found a column.
And they won't let you go in there. Yeah. They've shut everything down.
I saw a thing the other day where
it's all good. You don't have to worry about it.
where
Probably gotta get going here in a little bit.
this
Holy
Chinese
shit, is this still... Okay.
did it cut off?
Yeah, this cut off. Well,
What?
this is still going.
Well, that's cool.
Motherfucking... Let's see. Let's do like it stops recording at 30 minutes or some shit. Alright.
At least it's going.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start this bitch up again. What the hell was that all about?
You put the don't interrupt, and it was like, fine, bitch. I won't do shit.
I don't know if I turn the thing where, you know, you can set it that the screen will never turn off.
Yeah.
You know, it'll shut off automatically because it thinks, oh, you forgot about me. I think that's what it is. Like, it turned off, and then it turned the fucking mic off, you little bastard.
Little bitch.
But it didn't do it last time. Okay, so either ways.
There was
Getting all sidetracked. Look at this. Did it do again? Sorry, guys. Oh, no, it's still recording. Okay.
hold on, dude. There was a Chinese. I watched a video, and this team of Chinese laser guys. They're all about like 3D spectrometry and radar and shit.
Yeah.
They went to the pyramids, and they went like, I don't know, halfway up, almost to the top. They found a little space that you can go in, and they found out that, or they speculate from what they found, that the rocks inside the pyramid, and we're talking like at the top of the pyramid, like that inner cone of the top of the triangle.
Yeah.
That they're not fucking like squares. They're not perfect squares.
Yeah.
That are laid out perfectly.
Okay.
They're fucking fill stones.
Yeah.
And like not like filling it with gravel. They're still fucking jacked up rocks. But like there's a little space there's a little crack that leads to a bigger space. And when you get into the space, they've got this 3D image of it. You look around, and it's just like boulders fitted together. And they speculate because of that they basically built like almost like 3 walls that met, and then they filled in the middle like that.
Yeah.
Like it's called like corridor building or
There's
something.
a name for it, yeah.
Like you build the framework of the pyramid.
Okay.
And you just fill the shit in.
That's it?
Yeah.
I thought it would be stacked from the bottom, you know, just keep building each layer, and you had to think about which compartments you want where, and then you just kind of build it into the pyramid, you know, and going all the way up.
You can do that.
But you're telling me there's hollow ass shit in the Egyptian pyramid?
It's not hollow. It's that's the thing.
It was filler, but then they filled it with other like sand.
Well, no, you get like the idea of filler is what throws it off. Like this is like the best filler that ever was. These are
it's still like stone.
no, it's all stone. It's
But you're
not.
just making it sound like a big stone that there's like pockets of air in between, like.
There are gaps in it. Well, these guys they basically crawled through like a 6-foot crack, and then they found a room that's basically probably as big as this room.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people have pulled shit out, but like it's filler, but it's still like, here's a big ass boulder, here's the next boulder, here's the boulder fitted on top of them. Like it's not filled with pebbles and sand and shit. It's all still massive shit.
Okay.
But that made me think the Egyptian people, they don't want the mystique of the pyramid. They don't want they don't want it being built with shit ass. Bunch of Mexicans came, dumped a bunch of filler in
That
here.
fucking asbestos, or you know, the pink shit, the fiberglass.
They find a bunch of old toolboxes and shit. Emilio.
Get the fuck out of here. This place is like too high tech for you.
So
And it's all rickety, like sheetrock, and the pyramid is a fucking hoax.
well, it's still badass. It's still big, but like I mean, these chamber. I guess that's what it's called. It's like chamber building.
Yeah.
Where they build that chamber and then kind of fill it in. But, I mean, it's still like, they were talking about, compared to the Civil War, like, I guess in the Civil War, if you got hit with a bullet in the arm, you're probably going to lose that arm or die.
Yeah.
But at the pyramids, apparently they found, like, the camps where the workers died.
Yeah.
And they found people who had amputations. that didn't die from their amputations. They died from old age. Like they had amputated bone. So that means they had better medical shit when they were building the pyramids than we did in the Civil War.
Yeah. They probably had
the
Egyptian Empire.
Yeah, I mean, you have to counter. It's not like it's filler. It's like...
Yeah.
It's filler by the best architects ever.
Yeah. I just thought it was like big ass, square bricks just stacked geometrically on top of each other until you get a perfect pyramid.
That would be the absolutely ideal way to build it.
Yeah, and they didn't do it that way.
No, but they're more practical.
The Egyptian pyramids.
The Egyptian builders...
Man, that makes me sad.
No, dude, it's still... It's never been duplicated, though.
Yeah, but I thought it was just massive. Like, they're all... The bricks were the same kind of size.
Hold on. These guys were more towards the top. So this may have been more towards the top. It doesn't mean the absolute... Like, these chambers...
I gotcha.
These chambers wouldn't go down all the way to the ground. It would be like a room.
And what else was in that room? Was
Nothing.
anything hidden or anything?
There was graffiti in it. People had been there before.
That's crazy.
But there was nothing.
Did you see that guy that climbed way up to the top of a pyramid? And then he took a picture with like his feet hanging at the top of it. He's like, holy shit. He got arrested by the Egyptian police or whatever.
Yeah.
But holy shit, the picture is epic. Like, I'll put it on the cast. Like, you ought to look it up sometime. But
this guy,
epic. It's like almost like I'm glad he did it almost because you don't get to see. He's looking at the pyramid and you can see the other pyramid over there, and just like the scale of the people way down there.
But it's like almost straight down. They had a picture. The Chinese crew had a picture of themselves going into that hole. Yeah. And a dude took it from above them. And they say it's a 51-degree angle that the pyramid is at. Jeez. So it's like fucking... Yeah. It's not straight down.
But that's a bitch.
But pretty fucking much straight down.
It doesn't have steps like the Aztecs.
Like if you...
Whoa! That's what the Aztecs sound like.
You know what else was weird? After the Great Pyramids, those were the top-of-the-line pyramids. From then on, all the pyramids built after that got shittier and shittier and shittier. Yeah. That's just cool. That's just crazy that...
Yeah, those are the Great Pyramids.
Well, it's about the timeline. It's weird, the timeline of the people.
Just the quality of the timelines.
Well, after they built the Great Pyramids, that was the absolute height.
The zenith.
And then after
they couldn't recreate it at all? They couldn't maintain that level?
No. And that was they think they built the pyramids in 31 BC. And then the Egyptians lasted for like 3,000 more years, but it was a decline.
Because, you know why?
Goddamn aliens.
They left us, man.
I knew you were going to say stupid ass shit like that.
But seriously, like gold in the universe, like I think it's got some kind of like cosmic ass fucking powers, like, not that the aliens come to Earth looking for our gold, man. You already know that, right? It's not like that, but there's reports, I don't know if there's anything that Lazar said or just different encounters of UFO stuff.
Fuck Bob Lazar, man.
But I've heard in other instances...
Bob Lazar doesn't know shit.
Oh, Indiana Jones,
Indiana Jones doesn't know shit.
I mean, they were saying that the aliens wanted all the gold, so they were working with the locals. What was that shit? Like... Am I talking about Indiana Jones or am I talking about like something real? Because they said like, I'm confusing with Cortes and the Aztecs. That the Cortes came over and was like, look at all this fucking gold, man.
I'm getting Cortes and the Aztecs. And the Aztecs confused with an episode of Rugrats I saw.
But the Aztecs were like, here, take all this gold. It's nothing to us. And then Quetzalcoatl, motherfucker. So.
Oh, you know what? I had an interesting thought about the Aztecs and Cortes. Yeah. I think it probably fueled... You know how the Spanish were always looking for, like, the best city? Mm-hmm. Like the 7 cities of gold, whatever, El Dorado. Mm-hmm.
They fucking found it with Tenochtitlan.
But check this out. Just think about it like it actually happening. Instead of just being something in history. Cortes got here. And he was pretty much like one of the first dudes here, you know? And,
Amerigo Vespucci!
well, no, he didn't,
No.
he didn't discover America.
No, he
but
didn't,
Cortes it was 1520. So it's only 30 years after.
Colombo.
And so Cortes gets here. He walks about, like, I don't know, I'm saying like 2 weeks, and he finds, you know, all the natives and shit, and they lead him to the big city. And he finds Teotihuacan or Tenochtitlan, whichever one, I don't know which one.
Tenochtitlan,
Think
the city
about it.
on the lake.
Think about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
As an explorer, you get to a country that is the size of North America and South America. Look at it. It's on the wall, man. Look
Yeah.
how big it is.
Yeah?
And the first fucking city you find is the absolute best. Every city you'll find after that will not compare to Teotihuacan.
Tenochtitlan.
Yeah.
I'm sure Teotihuacan was awesome. But the story was that Cortes and his men rode up over that hill and they saw that the city on the lake with the 4 causeways as the only entrance, and it was like glimmering in the sunshine, and like in the journals that he wrote, that they were taken aback and they were just like they couldn't believe it. They're like, holy shit, like this is you know what you're talking about. We found the, you know, paradise city.
Yeah.
But then they got there and they found all the sacrifices and blood and all that. But when they rolled up over there,
Cortes wouldn't have had a problem with that, dude. He was a killer.
he was a killer.
He was a soldier killer.
He was
for
a killer.
hire. If he saw a pile of dead bodies,
But
he'd be like, cool.
he couldn't understand the sacrifice. People wanting to be sacrificed.
Yeah, he did. He came from a Christian religion full of martyrs.
Yeah, but Christians
what
aren't like, hey, sacrifice me. Like people in Aztec.
The 1500s.
They did.
You gotta remember to go back
They
in
did,
time, man.
They're like, hey,
No, they
Lord,
were 1500 religious.
take me now.
Spain would have been fucking super religious, dude. This is a 1500s.
They would have been like that, like, I
If-
want to die for the Lord.
Yeah.
Is that what the...
If a kid died in a town and basically said that kid would become a saint of that town. It's not like now, dude. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But there was...
You gotta see it through the time.
They were taken aback, though, by the carnage. Like, I think they put on a display of just, like, huge sacrifice form.
My whole point was, it sucked because they got to the best city first, but they didn't know it was the best city. So their expectations were to go up from there. They got to they got to that city.
Holy shit, this new country?
Yeah. Imagine if you got to Las Vegas first, like, and you're like, this is fucking amazing.
This
What's
is stupid.
What's the next one gonna be like? But there was no next one.
Like, this place, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think that kind of fucked the Americas, because then because they didn't find the, what is it? The one way up in the mountains.
Machu Picchu?
Yeah, they didn't find that till like the 1800s.
Yeah.
Some white guy found it.
Yeah. Ugh.
I don't know, man. I think it had a lot to play.
I just wish the fucking conquistadors didn't bulldoze the 2 temples of the sun and moon. I think it was sun and moon. It was like the war god and the moon god, or some shit.
They bulldozed
It was the 2 great pyramids of Tenochtitlan. They drained the swamp,
Yeah.
and then they bulldozed those pyramids, and then they made this big stupid church out of the very bricks that were those pyramids. And you can look at the church, and you can see it's like, oh shit, yeah. You look at it, it's like that Catholic church is made out of Aztec blood sacrifice bricks.
You're gonna start dancing.
Yeah.
And you turn into the dude from fucking Suicide Squad.
Which one?
There was like the Latino fire guy, and like when his power kicked in, he was like Quetzalcoatl.
Is that what he said?
I don't know. He said something.
Yes, yeah. He turned into like a Mayan Aztec looking
Yeah.
fire dude.
They had all the fucking like 26 letter names with a bunch of O's and X's.
God, that's a whole podcast on itself, man. I don't want to cut this one short, but I got that Brewers shit to get to.
What time is it?
It's like 6:40 or some shit. Let's see.
6:45.
6:45. Yeah, I gotta wrap it up. But we gotta finish on them Buffalo Soldiers as we exit. So,
Pew, pew.
what?
Pew, pew.
Man, that's kind of an awkward conversation to come back to. Hey, let's have about them Buffalo Soldiers now. Did you see the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Did you see that they had like the last guy from the Tuskegee Airmen?
That I thought that was all right. All right, here's a podcast moment because I thought that was a little weird, dude. Because you bring out two dudes that were like on Normandy or some shit. There were like three white guys sitting down, and then a Tuskegee Airman who went through all that shit and an ass ton of racism, and then like we're supposed to play a fucking game now. Like it was weird. It was a weird emotional moment. Like they took it too high. Like. It's weird we're talking about the Aztecs. It would fit more if those warriors had gone out there and then they flipped the coin and the two teams were like, all right, I'm going to try to take your fucking head off. Like, this is blood.
Yeah.
You know, because the war, I don't know, it was such a weird...
That was like a slap in the face, and like they're just parading them around.
No. I thought it was emotionally, they got us where they wanted us. They took these old warriors who had survived death and life and were still here, and then we're supposed to go from that emotional high point to
lollipops and Gatorade.
Yeah, let's play a fucking game.
Who wants popcorn? Who wants peanuts? Hey,
there's like stacks of cash being instead of a ball, they're just using a big bundle of cash. You know.
Foam hats, foam fingers, get your hats.
So it was like they did too good of a job bringing those guys out. I was like, all right, these guys are.
These guys need to have like a fucking podcast of their own, motherfuckers.
No, dude, they fucking get them some hookers and some fucking let them live.
They die.
Let them live in the fucking candy land of life. You know, like. What were you gonna say about them?
No, I just thought it was crazy that there's one left and they brought him out. But then I'm not a history buff, so I don't know when they were around exactly in the time frame. But
I feel bad. I don't even know.
Right.
They were World War II.
Yeah.
But they were an all-black aviator squad. And I guess
there's more of a backstory to it, though.
Well,
it's sad. We're here in fucking Black History Month right now.
You know what's funny? The Tuskegee Airmen are like...
And we don't even fucking know, man.
Well, the Buffalo Soldiers you're talking about.
Yeah.
And the Tuskegee Airmen, they were both black units.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of even them being a black unit, in either of those times, that meant that they were going first.
Yeah.
That they would be the first ones in.
Yeah.
So the fact that the Tuskegee Airmen survived
No
that
shit, yeah.
They probably got sent. They're like, oh, we got a dangerous mission? Send them Tuskegee boys.
Fucking.
Oh, they came back? Well, that was fucking crazy.
Good job, boy. You know, like being a dickhead to them, like he just fucking, you know, outmaneuvered you, dog. Fucking, I was listening. Man, racism, that sucks.
Podcast just got real.
Yeah, this
Tampa fell over the room.
Did you hear Rogan, the guy Daryl Davis who was on? Did you listen to him at all?
Is
that a yes?
There's another I listened to, you know how they chop them up into, into like sound bites?
Oh, he was talking about the Ku Klux Klan?
And he pulled the hood out?
Yeah.
When I was watching that, I saw a black dude who doesn't live in 1960s Mississippi talking to a white racist who also doesn't live in I was like...
you know, it's a different kind of racism, yeah. It's at a point now, did you hear him? Like, they gave them their shit. Like, he wasn't trying to convert them or anything, but just being friends with him and him initiating and asking questions, they eventually hung up their shit and he took their stuff and he didn't, you know. But, you know, what I was going to say about racism was he was talking about when he was 10 years old. I think it was 1958 or 1968. I think he said he was born in 58.
Jesus Christ, maybe he is a black guy
68.
who lived in the 60s.
68. He said he was 10 years old and he was the only black guy in his, black kid in his Boy Scouts. and they were doing a parade and stuff, and they were marching and stuff, and everything was fine. They went to one city, and everyone just started like throwing shit, throwing rocks and bottles at them. It was kids and some adults, adults too, throwing, and just, and he said he's marching and stuff, and he's like, the first thing I thought was like, these people don't like scouts, like,
Fuck these people, man. These people got a problem. Hey, scout leader, hand out the pistols. We gotta defend our scouts.
Isn't that sad though?
Yeah, it sucks.
Like being that kid, and then you gotta figure out like, oh shit. Like he said, his parents had to sit him down and teach him about racism, and just to be that, to find out like that, like, man, I thought they didn't like scouts, man. Like taking that innocence away.
Yeah, I didn't know. For some reason, it just seemed like more of like when that dude was talking. I don't know. I guess I just assumed he didn't have any stories like that. I don't know.
Oh, dude, don't judge a book by its cover, man. I gotta get going here. But he said, he just. Like, he met with, I don't know.
Yeah,
he was talking about Imperial Grand
Wizard.
Wizards and dragons and
Yeah, but he could do.
He said he was meeting with one and, like, he was afraid, and they eventually formed, like, a bond, and then he was an Imperial means national, so he hung up all this shit after, having inner, qualms inside himself.
Let me ask you a question. A controversial question.
You gotta wrap it up because this will be an hour here.
All right. So, remember how I was talking about hoodies being like urban trash?
Yeah.
All right. So let's
give me that shit. Cut it right off.
let's say you saw a dude walking with like a handkerchief on, a hoodie, and a handkerchief on. And maybe a gold chain, some loose jeans, way down low, Like, would you say he's in clothing style representing kind of like that urban hood? I mean, imagine like Eazy-E.
Yeah.
All right. So, is that the same as a dude walking down the street? Because we're talking about the Nazis here. The Nazis in Europe are like also nuts. And they have like that like red suspender, like you wear like jeans, black boots, red suspenders, and that's it, and like a white t-shirt.
Yeah.
Those two things are uniforms of different cultures.
For sure.
But do you see, like, if you see a dude walking down in the hoodie and the hip hop uniform, do you see it as distinctly as you would a dude walking down the street in a Nazi shit? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'd be like, whoa, look at that fucking neo-Nazi dude over there.
Right, but the other guy, the hip-hop guy, would be like just a guy who walks by you at Foot Locker.
Yeah.
But they're both wearing uniforms of a distinct, violent... so I'm not comparing hip-hop
I'll say
to
if someone...
Nazism.
I'll take it, I'll refine that argument. A neck tattoo and like a hand tattoo right there.
Hey, man, put your pants back on. Jolly just took his pants off to prove his point.
Face tattoo, neck tattoo, hand tattoo. If I see that shit, I'm like, like, that's something irrefutable that I'd be like, okay, you've made some life decisions.
Okay, I get it. 'Cause I have a hard problem with, like, the teardrop tattoo. I see people with the teardrop, and I'm like, nigga, you different than me. Like, we're on...
I saw some guy on the street, he was dressed all nice in shorts and a button-up and everything, looking all nice. But then I saw something like a tattoo right here on his neck. And it's like, oh, that kills the look you were trying to go for. Like, and he didn't look bad, He looked good, but then it's like, you can never escape that fucking ghetto. That shit right there. And people are like, hey, that's not a ghetto thing. Yeah, like fucking Bill Gates has one here. Or fucking Steve Jobs had a fucking teardrop, or...
I guess that's that's a better example of what I'm talking about than even the hip hop thing.
Yeah.
The tats and the teardrop.
Yeah.
That's acceptable. Walking through Walmart.
Post Malone.
Post Malone, when he talks, he sounds like the whitest motherfucker ever. He just came out of his algebra class at Penn State or something. It's funny.
Not even,
I
man.
love it, dude.
Yeah.
I love how fucking gangster he looks. And
You ought to get her some fucking posty sword right there.
I told you, dude, when my hair was long, I had my beard kind of like this, and I would twist my hair so I had like kind of little joints pulled out.
Yeah.
And I got home, and I was walking in with groceries, and there were moving guys here, and there was a moving guy in the van, and he was all ghetto, and he fucking looked at me, and I looked at him, and we just stared at each other, like it was kind of like that Mexican standoff. And then I just kept moving, and I went inside, and as I was going inside, I heard him kind of proclaim to like his buddy. He was like, "Post Malone." It was like I looked like Post Malone. You motherfucker! I should have run there. Hey, motherfucker!
That's awesome. All right, player. I got it. We got to end it on that note. That's a good stopping point, player.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chesapeake Bay, scrapple out.
That's a wrap.